I think we can all agree that Macs were forged in the furnace of Satan's fires. The Apple logo being bitten, just like Eve did. Jobs knew it. He's like, oh, we're stealing knowledge from God. Let's build a company based on this. What could go wrong? You could die of a terrible disease due to karma, but whatever. That's another talk for another day. For 2 weeks, if not 3, I've been whining like a baby. Just an underfed baby, wondering like, why is macOS so hard? This doesn't work. And then I found some deal-breaking flaws. We gotta talk about those flaws today, and I'm buying a Mac M3 Studio Ultra Plus.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So I just have to get some things off my chest. Couple apologies due your way, and some counter strikes for those apologies. I whined for 3 weeks straight. I was trying to switch into Mac. I was like, I can't edit my files on my PC. I'm sick of this life. I hear good things about Mac, so I made the switch, but I kept bumping up into speed bumps and walls, and my nose was bruised after a while, and I got sick of it. But literally, I'm here to admit, every single problem I had with Mac can be corrected. It was user error, and I'm dumb. That's all we know for sure. Yes, you're right. To my defense, here's the counter-strike. See if you can deflect it. Apple sets you up to look stupid. For some reason, there's so many settings that are triggered on by default that are just like, you run into problems because of the default settings. And then like you Google shit and you're like, what's the fix to this? And sometimes it doesn't show up. And then you're just like, oh, guess that's a flaw. But then some weird hint will appear out of nowhere and it's like, actually, this is the fix. And it's super simple, but you wouldn't find it on your own. Just so many default, like the desktop switching. For some reason, it was switching the 2 and 3 all the time. I'm like, why is that happening? Apparently that's a setting. It's just like, goes to the most recent one and updates it and moves it for you. But you can turn that off and then it's predictable. 1, 2, and 3, back and forth. I never found that. When it comes to the most recent deal-breaking flaw that I found, where my files were not in order. I ordered them by date modified and it was out of order. Some of them were in order, but I was like, why is this not a thing? And y'all were yelling at me like cats in the night. And I was just like, how come there's no fix? And then one guy was like, you have to right click inside the folder and then sort by. And I was like, huh, what do you know? That worked. It actually, and I was gonna make a video about this, like say, this doesn't work, you idiot. None of you have the solution. This is a problem. It's a real problem, I promise. But it worked. And I was just like, why? Why was that hidden? Because in Windows, at the top of the folder is your sort by icons. And it's like sort by date, time, name. So in Mac, they also have that up there. I'm like, oh, good. Thank God things are the same. We're just gonna sort by this. And so you sort it, but that's sorting by some other random thing. It's sorting by groups. And so it sorts your whole folders by groups of months. But then the folders within it, the files within it, are not in order. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever by default. But like if you find the hidden right click in the folder thing, then they're actually in order perfectly. Don't pretend that I didn't search for the solution for this for hours, if not days. I was looking up like, why are my folders not in order? And I found a Reddit post that was like, yeah, there's something with the NTFS files, Macs can't read it. It's been a problem since day one. I'm like, yeah, there it is, man. There was no simple, like you just right click, you idiot. Right click in there, sort by date. That wasn't there in Google. So like I'm the moron here looking for advice and it's not being presented to me because the internet is a soulless pile of hatred and TikTok dances that don't help me propel myself towards a Mac universe that we can all hold hands together in. It doesn't. So I apologize for sucking at my job, but I felt like I was being set up by the mafia to fail at this one. I was looking for the fixes. They weren't presenting themselves, but a lot of you had some good fixes. Some of you presented those fixes without the attitude. Others, not so much, right? Yeah, let's all reevaluate our own minds tonight. So there's a bunch of fixes for the Mac Life, and I was just looking on the site. Apparently, for some reason, there was no refurbished Macs. When I was looking for the Studios, it was only like M1s and M2s. I was like, what's that? Where's all the M4 Maxes and the M3 Ultras? They weren't there, but now for some reason, like a week later, there's hundreds of them. So I could, in theory, right now, pounce on an M3 Ultra, maxed out 80 core GPU for a lot of money, but less money than it would have been. Still like 8 grand Canadian. The question is, will I? God, I hate you. This isn't user error. It's the tripod stand's not good. That was a mistake. The problem, Mac Sheep, is that as I contemplate this, all my problems were fixed. Mac, I could have a tiny little thing on. M3 Ultra, even better GPU performance, oh my goodness. There's several problems with that theory of yours that you just had. One, I don't like macOS, even though most of the problems have a workaround, a clunky workaround, your double buttons. F5 doesn't refresh, you just press Command and good luck with the finger split right there. I hope someone pours vinegar on it. Damn Command R, what's all these double buttons? Bullshit life you live. So like, I don't love macOS, and there's nothing right now. I am looking at my PC. Once I upgraded to the 5070 Ti and DaVinci 20 was released, I can now edit everything perfectly smooth. All my videos render in like 3 minutes. Fantastic, maybe 4 sometimes. Everything's good. The PC's off to the side now, so I have the same desk real estate, if not more, because there's no Mac thing under my speaker, so I have room under there. So I'm like, okay, pretty happy here. Everything I know in Windows, I love it. It's all fast and quick. There's no advantage to switching to a Mac. I'm not seeing it. I get that if you grew up in the Mac universe and you're like, I could never use a PC, it's hard for you to switch either way. It's like, you have to relearn things. It's not good, but if you're in one, the other sucks. So as I debate the switch, my mind gives me all the things that I'm going to have to go through again. One is buying the USB dongle again, so all my devices work. So there's that snake thing. There's the programs. Logic Pro was pretty cool, but I'm actually learning Bitwig now, and I like it way more than I did Logic Pro, so there's no reason. That was like one of the major drawing points was Logic Pro. It's one of the 2 music programs in existence that are a one-time fee for life. There's only Logic Pro and FL Studio. Those are the only 2 that you pay once, forever, you will get free updates. Every other program has some weird, it's either a monthly fee like Adobe, or you buy it, and then the next major update, you get charged for it. And some are worse than others. You think, oh, I'm gonna skip this update, it's not really worth my time. But then the next update, they charge you double for. So you basically have to pay for the old one, no matter what. So that ends up being a monthly fee, life. Same with Bitwig, that's what Bitwig is. So it's hell. So I could see a life where I switch to Logic Pro, maybe even do Final Cut, learn that. I didn't like it as much as DaVinci. Yes, it would be more performance enhanced. It wouldn't slow down, but the color grading in Final Cut is nowhere near the level of DaVinci, and just all the effects, and there's just so many more features in DaVinci. Final Cut's like a trimmed down version of DaVinci, like a crippled, handicapped arm breaker version. And then certain things like, I really like Pot Player, Media Player, like just to play my video files. I'm very used to that. And pressing the forward keys skips forward 5 seconds, and the print screen is a certain button. I know there's gonna be the fixes for all your little players, but I tried INA, I-I-N-A. I didn't like it. It looked different. I'm sure there's a setting to make it look normal again. But like, oh God, there's so many different things to learn again. And I don't see the advantage, the pull into Mac. Like, I can't believe how much better that works. Everything is the same or worse. And last couple things, the value proposition. I'm the type of guy that does not update my tech every couple years. I'm not that guy that's feasting for blood. My computer, like, it was struggling and I needed an upgrade. And so I did it, and it was a minor piece of the computer that I bought, and now everything's amazing. For Mac, it's a different life where you're buying the whole computer and then eventually you buy an entire new computer, sell the old one. The problem is people who are saying, oh, Macs retain their value. They don't. Not over a span of 7 or more years. Nobody's looking for, oh, couldn't wait to get an M1 MacBook Air right now. I'm sure there's some, but like that loses its value pretty hard, pretty quick. You're not getting anywhere close to what you paid for it, but it would be a simpler fix. New PC, sell the old one, instead of all these upgrade parts and different things. And then there's the fact that Apple seems to force you to update your operating system. At some point, a program you use is not gonna work until you upgrade the operating system, but they're not gonna support an older machine. So at some point, you're probably gonna be forced, before you really want to upgrade to an entirely new machine. So I don't know, man, I'm not seeing the reason at this point. Now that my computer works, it is big, but it's off to the side. I'm not seeing the reason to like go through that hell once again. And like, I listed this PC for sale when I got the M4 Max. I was about to switch. It's still listed. Have not got one question about it even. No one's even looking at it. So like, these don't retain their value either. Nothing does. Only cookies and milk. Those go stale and rotten. So I know nothing of this world, but try to convince me. Oh man, you're missing this feature. Mac, like you can't do that on Windows. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the pull. I'm only seeing resistance. Only seeing that. So that is my thoughts for now. Could do it. Could pounce right on that M3 Ultra, but I don't see a reason. So convince me or not. And thank you all for the help, the nice ones over the years, weeks. And I learned a lot, but stupid Mac, I hate you so much. I don't hate Bitcoin. I'll be leaving now. Subscribe for more when I said.